Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng says the government could claim back the 10 billion ringgit paid to ECRL contractors in the event the ambitious 81 billion ringgit project is terminated. Putrajaya has yet to decide on the final status of the project. This is because talks are still ongoing between MOF-owned Malaysia Rail Link, Chinese contractor China Communications Construction Co., and other relevant bodies including the Council of Eminent Persons. So far, the two companies have also conducted several technical discussions between July and October. The two firms are looking into suggestions to reduce the cost of completing the project, but have yet to reach an agreement on which measure to take. The government has paid 19.7 billion ringgit for the project so far. It is not included in the list of high-impact projects under the mid-term review of the 11th Malaysia Plan. If the ECRL is indeed scrapped, Lim says he would prefer to see it replaced by the 411 km Central Spine Road. He says it is his personal view that this would be more beneficial. This toll-free highway will link Pahang and Kelantan. It is scheduled to be completed by next year. Former Defence Minister Dato Sri Hishammuddin confirms that he is attempting to help track down alleged 1MDB mastermind Low Jho or Jho Low. Hishammuddin told the press today that he has been reaching out to friends from the past among Chinese officials to locate the fugitive Penang-born businessman. However, he stressed that he is doing so under his personal capacity and that it was not under instructions by the federal government. He says he just wants justice and closure on the 1MDB investigation. Guilty or not, he says Low cannot be roaming around the world as though nothing has happened. Hishammuddin says that if it is true that Low is in China, he will make use of his network to try and bring Low back. As for now, however, he is unable to confirm if Low is in the Republic. The Sembrong MP says he will pay China a visit soon to speak with members of the leadership in relation to the matter. Low and his father, Tan Sri Loh Hok Peng, have been charged in absentia in Malaysia over money siphoned from 1MDB. Their precise location remains unknown. MyEG services experienced a rebound today as the group managed to reassure investors that it was not linked to the graft charges against former DPM Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Its stock was hammered on Friday following news it was named in some of the charges brought against Zahid. This sent it tumbling by some 25% to settle at 1 ringgit and 13 cent, wiping out over 1 billion ringgit in the company's market capitalization. Today, the counter recouped some 990 million ringgit of its market value after its shares rose 22% to close at 1 ringgit and 38 cent. Meanwhile, the company also announced that it has signed an MOU with University Malaya to promote and develop blockchain research as well as to implement an e-wallet on its campus. It will also work with the university on the development and delivery of marketing and educational campaigns on the benefits of blockchain and e-wallet technology. This is to create stakeholder awareness, consideration and demand. The MOU is valid for a 5-year period from today and is subject to revision upon mutual agreement. MyEG does not expect its earnings per share and net assets per share for its fiscal year ending September 30th, 2019 to be materially affected by the agreement. Individuals who generate solar power for personal use will see lower electricity bills starting January 1st, 2019. Energy Minister Yeo Bee Yin says the existing net energy metering will be revised to ensure that there is no difference between the selling and purchasing prices of electricity. Currently, consumers sell excess solar energy to TNB at displaced cost prices, which is at 31 cent per kilowatt hour. However, they still need to buy electricity at tariffs of over 50 cent per kilowatt hour to keep the lights on after dark. This is because it is complicated and expensive to store the excess energy generated during the day. Meanwhile, the government will also implement a solar leasing concept which will enable consumers to install solar panels in their homes with zero upfront cost. Instead, consumers will pay for the monthly leasing fee or solar energy usage via the TNB bills. The concept will be introduced under a widened supply agreement for renewable energy program. Yeo says these steps are in line with the adoption of solar energy generation in Malaysia towards grid parity. She explains that solar technology has matured and costs have become more competitive, with solar panel prices having fallen by 80% since 2009. Public Bank's loan growth is expected to be the worst hit by a slowdown in non-residential mortgages, no thanks to the oversupply of commercial properties in Malaysia. CIMB research analyst Winston Eng explains this is because Public Bank has the highest proportion of NRMs among local banks, comprising 25.8% of total loans as at end 2017. Meanwhile, Affin Bank could be the most negatively affected should there be any increase in credit costs for NRM. Eng says this is because its NRM gross impaired loan ratio was the highest among the local lenders as at end 2017. Eng expects Maybank to be the least affected as NRMs account for only 8.3% of its total loans as at the end of last year. He also notes that RHB Bank recorded the fastest expansion in NRMs, having almost tripled over the past 5 years. Although the commercial property glut is likely to have minimal negative impact on the banks, he says earnings risks such as margin erosion and weak loan growth are a concern. CIMB Research has retained its neutral outlook on Malaysia's banking sector, with RHB Bank as its top pick. This is due to attractive valuations and positive changes seen from its transformation program.